Hey, this is Shannon Kringen, Goddess Kring Live, and I just had an interesting interaction earlier today, and I wanted to talk about why I love Tom Petty's voice so much. And it's not just about Tom Petty, may he rest in peace. It's about music in general. Tori Amos and Tom Petty are two of my favorite vocalists, singer, songwriter, human being, musical artists, channelers, spiritual channelers. And as pretentious as that sounds, I really do think that Tom Petty and Tori Amos are very much channeling a spiritual energy that becomes their music. It's very strong and powerful. Hope you don't mind the stripes on my face. I kind of like this kind of lighting. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Seattle, but I just listened to a cover that I really love called Blackberry Smoke is the band. I guess they're a country-ish band. I don't really know very much about them, but somebody just drew this to my attention. I belong to a Facebook group called Tom Petty Nation for those of us who love the music of Tom Petty, and I had an interaction earlier today with Dana Petty, Tom Petty's second wife, who is his widow, sadly, but she's seems to be coping okay with grief. And a year later, after Tom Petty passed away suddenly, sadly, but Blackberry Smoke did a cover of You Got Lucky, and it's on YouTube. It's called Blackberry Smoke, You Got Lucky, Live from Southern Ground is the exact title of the video on YouTube if you want to listen. I guess I'll link it below this video when I'm done here. But I figured it out because I know people who are in cover bands, and a lot of times when a band does a cover, they might do the melody and the instruments correctly, but it's not like they need to imitate the singer. Nobody can really sing quite like Tom Petty, I don't think, not even Bob Dylan or Roger McGuinn. But the thing is, Tom had his own kind of thing that he did, and the emphasis of words. I think that when I hear Tom Petty, when I hear Blackberry Smoke cover, Blackberry Smoke cover You Got Lucky, I think part of the reason why I love it is it's a kind of a country version of that song. And Tom Petty actually sang in a country-ish kind of way. Like when he says, you got lucky when I found you, when he sings, he doesn't go you, he goes you, like he goes up and down, you, like I'm not a singer, but he bends his words. He gets louder and quieter and higher pitched and lower pitched. I think Bob Dylan does that as well. Certain singers, when they sing, and I think mostly country singers do this, they bend their words. So when you just say you, when you sing you, that's one way of singing it, but you, up and down, modulate your voice. Like, I'm not a singer, but I love the way Tom Petty, I would consider it sort of twangy, like I'm not talking about a Southern accent. I like Southern accents, but literally there's an album of Tom Petty's called Southern Accents, but literally I like the sound of Southern accents. But what I'm talking here is You Got Lucky by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. He does that. He emphasizes the words. He bends them up and down. When I found you, and then he goes, let's see, what's the other one? Well, I forgot because I'm a little nervous, but it's just, there's an emphasis on words and it's like twangy. So that's why I love the Blackberry Smoke version. And Marty Stewart actually also did a version of Running Down a Dream that I really like. Running Down a Dream. See, Tom Petty music actually works quite well when country singers cover it, like Marty Stewart, as well as Blackberry Smoke. I keep forgetting their name. So, because that's a band that's new to me. And why don't I walk into the other room? Okay, the light is now going to change. This is Shannon Kringen, Goddess Kring. Thank you for tuning in. This is a random impromptu video that I'm doing. I wanted to talk about, oh gosh, now the light's even weirder. There's my weird lighting. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the little interaction that I had with Dana Petty today. She is a sweet person, and she's not a super extroverted person online. She's a very private person, and so I don't mean to invade her privacy in any way, shape, or form, but I'll just say that she told me happy birthday today because on Tom Petty Nation on Facebook, I said something about numbers and how my birthday is coming up, and Tom Petty's 68th birthday. Tom Petty, the musician, would have been 68 tomorrow, October 20th, 2018. And I was born in 1968. So the number 68 is Tom would have been 68, and I was born in 68. And then the number 50, Tom was born in 1950, and on October 25th, I turned 50. So there's a 50 and a 50 and a 68 and a 68 that overlap with Tom Petty and Shannon Kringan's birthday. And it's just interesting, and I like that, and I find that fascinating when numbers like that line up. And then I said something about that, and Dana Petty said, interesting, and she's like, happy birthday. And then I did a little audio podcast about the same thing, and kind of said a few things about why I love Tom Petty's music so much and how it had a huge impact on me since I was 11 years old in 1979. And I forgot what else I said, but I kind of rambled on. And then I talked about synchronicity in San Diego with a movie called Naked in Ashes. What's it called? About the Holy Men of India. That's a whole nother story. But there's synchronicity with this trip that I had in San Diego involving 3 separate friends who didn't know each other, and it all involved the movie Naked in Ashes. And so I was just talking about how synchronicity, I feel like, everything is connected. And that's what Dana Petty said to me. She's like, thanks for sharing. She actually listened to one of my Anchor podcasts, little short snippets that I made, because I gave her the link, and I said, just in case you're interested, I just felt like sharing this. I know it's eccentric of me, but here you go. And then she's like, everything is connected. And she said she was touched and moved by my wisdom and my kindness. And then she quoted Buddha, and I thought that was really wonderful. She sent me a Buddha quote about how everything is connected. And I love that, because part of why I love Tori Amos and Tom Petty is they're both, Tom, rest in peace, but Tori Amos, they're both very spiritually awake and alive people. I guess most artists are. They're like in touch with something beyond themselves. And if you're an atheist, what I mean by spirit is just that the universe is connected, and that when we're creative, we are all connected, and we all borrow from each other, and musicians and painters and actors and singers and dancers, it's all connected. And whether someone is an atheist or a spiritual person, I feel like there's still a truth in that. There's still a truth in the magical synchronicities and connections in the world. So the reason why I love Tom Petty's voice so much, because I'm trying to stay on topic and focus here. One of the problems I have with my YouTube channel is I don't really know what my focus is. Like, I do artwork, I do poetry, I'm a model, I'm interested in nutrition and travel. I love Tom Petty music and Tori Amos music. I've written my own poetry, I paint, I take photographs. I mean, I do so many different things. And I'm really into nutrition and intermittent fasting, and I just don't know what to focus this channel on. And so maybe I'm just not one of these people that can do that can just do one thing. I have to just be multimedia when it comes to my video monologue topics, when it comes to because most of the channels I follow on YouTube, they all have one particular theme, like it's all about nutrition, or it's all about artwork, or it's all about, astrology or music or poetry or something. And so I just can't do that. So I have to just be myself. Be yourself no matter what they say is a line from a Sting song called Englishman in New York that I love. So that's what I'll say about that. So what was I going to say? So I just love singers who bend their voices and go up and down and phrase things. And so thank you, Blackberry Smoke, for covering You Got Lucky by Tom Petty. You really did it justice. It's beautifully sung, and I feel like you have a sense, Blackberry Smoke has a sense of the phrasing and the emphasizing of words and the emotional, the way of sharing the melody of You Got Lucky. And I feel like it actually works really well as a country-ish kind of song, even though the original by Tom Petty is not country-ish, but some of Tom Petty's music is country-ish. But the way he sang, I realize now, even in the songs that aren't country-ish, Tom Petty sang in kind of a country twangy kind of way in terms of emphasizing the words and going up and down and bending the notes. And the synchronicity that I wanted to share about going to San Diego was I was there with somebody, and in a magazine, in a grocery store, I saw something that said, a magazine that said Naked in Ashes, which is a documentary film about the Holy Men of India. And I thought, I'd like to see that. I've never heard of that. And then a separate friend of mine in San Diego said, hey, my husband and I were thinking of going to this documentary called Naked in Ashes. Would you like to go? And I was like, oh my God, I was just, reading about that. And I was thinking, I want to go see this movie. I wonder where it's playing. And so then I thought, okay, I guess I'm meant to see this movie. So I went and saw Naked in Ashes in San Diego. And I remember thinking, oh, I like the voice of this narrator in this movie with an Indian accent. And I made a note of that. And then at the end, when the credits run up, I saw the name Ismail Bashi, or maybe I didn't see it, but that's what it was. But basically, my third friend in Southern California, I took a Greyhound from San Diego. I grew up in San Diego, for those who don't know. I took a Greyhound bus to Los Angeles, where my friend, who is a professional actor, was living. And I said, hey, have you heard of this film, Naked in Ashes, about the Holy Man of India? I just saw it and I really liked it. And he went, I was one of the narrators. I was in that film. I was, he was part of the film as the narrator. And so the voice that I heard that I loved was my friend Ismail Bashi, the actor, which is very interesting. So when I went to San Diego, just the whole thing, Naked in Ashes, it was just interesting to me that three separate friends that did not know each other, there was just a connection of the movie Naked in Ashes. So it was just very interesting to me. So I love when things like that happen. And I feel like that means the universe, everything is connected. We're on the right track. We're doing what we love. It just kind of fascinates me. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. And I will link the Blackberry Smoke You Got Lucky Tom Petty cover to this post. And I also do a thing on Anchor FM, and I'm all over the internet. ShannonKringen.com is where everything is linked. Or just Google me, Shannon Kringen or Goddess Kringen, and you'll see different things. So thank you for joining me. I'm probably going to do a live video randomly whenever I feel like it. Tonight I'm going to go to a rock and roll show, a cover band, rock and roll cover band, and I'm going to see they actually do a few Tom Petty songs, and they do some Eagles, and they do some Rolling Stones, and some Beatles, and some Prince, and some Brian Setzer, and I forgot who else. They do lots, and Jimi Hendrix. They do lots of really interesting, good music. So I'm going to dance and take photos of my friends who are in a band. So thanks for listening. I love music very much.